so easy to get stuck in our thoughts that we hold on to that don't serve us. We also create ideas in our mind that, most importantly, are quite often aren't true. We talked on this on the Key Live 2 weeks ago. We hold thoughts and beliefs around ourselves that quite often, if I said to you, is that true? You would go, no, but I'm holding on to it. Then the world projects things at us, doesn't it? Ideas, thoughts through Facebook, through YouTube, through Twitter. We get it in text, we get it in emails, and it influences our mind. And then ultimately it influences our experience of life in our world. And with so much being projected at us and our own projections to ourselves, well, can you see how easy it is to get confused, or stuck, or low, or lost? But what I want you to become aware of tonight is, well, what happens when we choose to renew our mind? When we decide, well, what's best for us, irrespective of external factors or other people's opinions or what's going on in our current reality. When we choose to take control back and control our thoughts and our mind and our energy and our beliefs, well, the answer is that we create. That's the exciting part here. That's everything that the Key teaches. We create something different, but most importantly, we create something that we truly desire. It talks about to be transformed. If we want to transform our thinking, our feeling, our lives, or we want to change, well, the whole basis of our thoughts must change. Because we create from our thoughts and from our ideas. That's where the creation process starts. For change to happen, for new things to be created, to be transformed, we have to have a burning desire, our heart's desire. We have to connect to our heart's desire. But when we let this mind overload, mind attacks, crazy thoughts that don't serve us, we remove ourselves from the very basis of something that we want to create. I want to talk about renewing the mind and how do we start a clean sheet, a clean space, a space to create. How do we remove the things that are in here that don't serve us, that have no purpose, that are ultimately taking control? How do we remove that? How do we understand why they're there? I think that's what's really important. Quite often we just distract ourselves onto the next thing when we never actually look, well, why is that thought there? Why is this recurring? Why am I not letting go of this? Right, okay, these are all meant to be here. This is a good thing. I appreciate your honesty. And as I said, I've been here too. I have been here too over the last couple of weeks. I've been dipping in and out of it, and in my walks in the morning I'm beginning to understand, and this is where my thoughts will go to you tonight is, well, why am I doing this? Why did I hold on to it? But it's almost as if there's a voice in there. There's an energy in here, and in here, and in here, and in here. You'll hold it in different places. You'll connect to it in different ways. But this voice, this energy that you fight against, that you say, no, don't think that way, or you go with it, you fight with it, or you get distracted with it, it removes you away from your true identity, and it lowers your vibration. It stops you from being you, and it dims your light. That's where I want to take this, and that's probably how I've experienced it, that it stops us from being happy. It stops us from, well, being independent of thinking independently, feeling independently. And there's a relationship, and I think if you've been on the Key before, we talk about that. The creation process is a relationship with you and your thoughts and your feelings and your energy. When you let the thought process take over in a negative sense, the mind overload take over, well, you feel out of alignment, don't you? What happens? How does that come out? You might feel low, you might get distracted, you might feel trapped or claustrophobic. When you let the mind take over, this is a relationship. and it's an important relationship. There's two parts to it. There's you and the mind. There's you and the heart. There's you and your energy. There's you and your beliefs. When the mind or the feelings or the negative beliefs are more, well, are taken over, well, taking more control than you have, this is how we fall out of alignment. This is when we get distracted. This is when we feel tired. This is when we feel that things aren't happening for us. This is when we procrastinate. This is when we react to things that we shouldn't be reacting to. This is when we create scenarios in our head that are more often untrue. Does this make sense? When we let the mind take over, it's a partnership. It's half and half. You have to work with it, not against it. And most importantly, it can't work for you alone.